This is CFB Grudge Match.
What a joke. What a joke. Ohio State. You're just not that good. You're not that good.
Toughness, that's it. Physicality, across the board, finish it off, having guts. You know, like, I like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. What he said about our team, I cannot believe.
January 10th, 2025. Ohio State crushes Texas 28-14 in the Cotton Bowl, sending the Longhorns home empty-handed while the Buckeyes march to a national championship. Fast forward to August 30th. It's Lee Corso's final college game day appearance, and guess where ESPN is setting up? Columbus, Ohio, for the rematch. The defending national champions versus the team that's been thinking about revenge for 8 months straight. Arch Manning gets his first real test. Ryan Day tries to prove that January wasn't a fluke, and we're about to find out which program is really better. Let's settle this once and for all. Mascot Showdown. First up, who's got the better mascot? On one side, you've got Brutus Buckeye, the anthropomorphic nut who's been representing Ohio State since 1965. Created by students who wanted something more creative than a live buck, Brutus has gone through some absolutely terrifying costume changes over the decades. But here's the thing, ESPN just ranked him number 2 among all costume mascots. He's in the Mascot Hall of Fame, and Lee Corso has worn his head more than any other mascot since 1996. Oh, and remember that legendary 2010 brawl when Rufus the Bobcat just straight up tackled Brutus? Just completely wild stuff. Now Texas, they counter with Bevo, and this is where things get wild. There have been 15 different Bevos over the years, and let me tell you, these steers have stories. Bevo II charged an SMU cheerleader who had to defend himself with a megaphone. Bevo III escaped and ran loose across campus for 2 days. Bevo V scattered the entire Baylor band. And just a few years ago, Bevo 15 nearly charged Georgia's Bulldog mascot at the Sugar Bowl.
And walking on the moon. Never before. Oh my Lord!
But here's the kicker. What happened to the first Bevo? Well, after fans didn't like him, they literally barbecued him and ate him at the 1920 football banquet. Yep, barbecued Bevo. The meat was reportedly tough. And no, I'm not making this up. So who wins our mascot showdown? Ohio State takes this one. Sure, Bevo has legendary chaos energy, but Brutus can actually entertain fans without the constant threat of trampling. Mascot fight. What if these two actually squared off? Now this is where things get interesting. You've got Brutus, a 6-foot college student in a nut costume who's proven he can throw hands. I mean, just ask Rufus. The dude's been lifting in the OSU facilities and has the heart of a warrior. Versus Bevo, a literal 1,700-pound beast with massive horns who could turn anyone into a pancake with one charge. Look, we love Brutus, but let's be real here. Our mascot fight verdict, Texas wins. And physics don't lie. Mass times velocity equals goodbye Brutus. Uniform battle. Time for the fashion police to weigh in. Ohio State rocks the classic scarlet and gray colors chosen way back in 1878 by 3 students in a lecture room who originally wanted orange and black, but discovered Princeton already used them. They picked scarlet and gray because it was a pleasing combination and had not been adopted by any other college. The iconic silver helmets feature Buckeye leaf stickers that players earn for big plays, a tradition started by Woody Hayes in 1968. They've got those legendary Buckeye stripes on the sleeves that were the first of their kind in football. And here's the thing about alternates. Ohio State hates them. Traditional fans literally wrote articles titled, "Why Must Tradition Be a Thing of the Past?" when they wore anything different. Texas sports burnt orange and white, and this color has a crazy origin story. It started in 1885 when a student named Gussie Brown from Orange, Texas, grabbed orange ribbons at a store for UT's first baseball game. But here's where it gets spicy. By the 1920s, other teams were calling Texas Yellow Bellies because their bright orange faded to yellow after washing. So in 1925, Coach Doc Stewart switched to burnt orange to distinguish Texas from schools like Tennessee and to avoid that embarrassing fade. The current official color is Pantone 159. Tennessee is Pantone 151. Texas is so protective of this color, it's legally protected intellectual property. And like Ohio State, they resist alternates. AD Chris Del Conte said he doesn't want to mess with tradition. This comes down to unique versus classic. One school literally invented a new shade of orange that nobody else can use. Uniform verdict, Texas takes it. Creating your own trademark color is pretty boss, even if scarlet and gray is timeless. Stadium Showdown. Let's talk about these cathedrals of college football. Ohio Stadium, or the Shoe, opened in 1922 and holds 105,000 plus screaming Buckeye fanatics. The attendance record is 110,045 from that 2016 double overtime thriller against Michigan. Mel Kiper Jr. ranked it as having the second best atmosphere in all of college football. When 105,000 people are yelling OHIO in unison, opposing quarterbacks literally can't hear themselves think. DKR Texas Memorial Stadium opened in 1924 and fits 100,119 fans. It was built as a World War I memorial and has that massive Godzillatron video board that was literally the largest in the world when installed. The record crowd was 105,215 against Georgia just last year, and the stadium sits right in the heart of Austin with that iconic burnt orange glow. Both are incredible venues, but when you can fit 5,000 more people and create an atmosphere that makes grown quarterbacks cry, how can you argue against that? Our stadium winner? Ohio State wins this one. More fans equals more noise, which equals more intimidation. Now for the city face-off, Columbus versus Austin. Where would you rather spend 4 years? Austin is literally ranked the #1 college town in America. It's got no state income tax, an incredible music scene, live music capital of the world, food trucks on every corner, and that keep Austin weird vibe.
The Black Joe Lewis and the Honeybees and Quiet Company. And if you plan on coming down tomorrow, you can expect an even larger crowd. It's supposed to be the busiest night for FanFest tomorrow. Oh yeah. And of course, lots of people drinking down here. Can you tell? Reporting live from downtown Austin, Quita Culpepper, KVUE News.
You've got 6th Street for nightlife, South by Southwest bringing the world to your doorstep, and you have Lake Austin for those perfect weekend escapes. Zilker Park festivals and Barton Springs Pool make it a tourist destination year-round. Plus, this is the tech hub known as Silicon Hills, where companies like Dell, IBM, and Apple have major operations. And let's not forget, Franklin Barbecue still has those legendary 4-hour lines that even President Obama had to wait in. Now for Columbus.
What's up everyone, this is Living in Columbus, Ohio. And today we're gonna talk about why you should avoid moving to Columbus, Ohio.
It's a solid #5 among large college cities with serious Midwest charm. This is where Wendy's was born, with the first location across from Memorial Hall. And it's home to the legendary Kahiki, the most famous lost restaurant in America, shaped like a Polynesian fighting boat. You got the historic German village with its cobblestone streets, the vibrant Short North Arts District, and the massive Ohio State Fair that draws over 1 million visitors. The Arena District buzzes with nationwide arena and restaurants, while the campus area actually feels like a college town should. The cost of living doesn't require selling organs, and honestly, sometimes you want your college town to actually revolve around the college. And here's where we're going to make some people absolutely lose their minds. Our winner? Columbus takes it. Austin is incredible if you're a tech bro with daddy's money. But Columbus is where real students can actually afford rent, find jobs after graduation, and get that authentic Big Ten college experience. Austin may be weird, but Columbus is real. We can already hear the angry Texas fans typing in all caps, academics and student body. So who has the smarter students? Let's start with Texas. They have 53,000 plus students, an 81% graduation rate, an average SAT of 1297, and a 29% acceptance rate. They're more selective and have slightly higher test scores. Now, moving on to Ohio State. They have 60,000 plus students, an 80% graduation rate, an average SAT of 1295, and a 51% acceptance rate. So they're bigger, but a little less selective. The numbers say Texas students are slightly smarter on paper, but honestly, we're talking about a 2-point SAT difference. That's basically margin of error territory. Our verdict? Texas wins, but barely. But let's be real here. Both schools are pumping out plenty of future CEOs and plenty of future Uber drivers. Famous Alumni Battle. It's time to see who's producing the real stars. Texas is bringing some heavy hitters. Oscar winner Matthew McConaughey, America's favorite astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, Farrah Fawcett, Janis Joplin, Owen Wilson, Rex Tillerson, Emmanuel Acho, James Baker, and 2 former First Ladies, Laura Bush and Lady Bird Johnson. Now, Ohio State counters with 4-time Olympic gold medalist Jesse Owens, the only 2-time Heisman winner Archie Griffin, Oscar winner J.K. Simmons, Bobby Knight, Chris Carter, George Steinbrenner, R.L. Stein from Goosebumps, 5 Nobel Prize winners. Both schools have serious star power, but when you've got the guy who created Goosebumps and the only person to win the Heisman twice, Ohio State edges it out. Fight song Faceoff. Which song gets you more pumped up? Ohio State has Across the Field. Written in 1915 and still giving people chills over 100 years later. Plus they have Carmen, Ohio for those emotional post-game moments. And they have Buckeye Battle Cry to get the blood flowing. When 105,000 people are singing these together, it's pure magic. Texas has Texas Fight. And okay, we'll admit it, this is a banger. It's got that big, bold sound that matches the big, bold state. When the Longhorn Band cranks this up, the entire stadium is on its feet. It's sung to a fast-tempo version of Taps, and includes the phrase, "and it's goodbye to A&M." The song was written in response to taunts from Texas A&M University, and is a spirited expression of Longhorn pride. So this one comes down to tradition versus modern energy, and sometimes the classics just hit different. Verdict: Ohio State wins. A century of tradition beats flashy newness every time. Now here's where things get really interesting. Which coach would you rather have dinner with? Starting with Ryan Day. The guy just won a national championship and has a 70-10 record. His players literally call him the best coach in the nation. But here's the thing. This dude is intense. He's at the facility all day, every day. Dinner with Day might feel like a job interview where you're getting grilled about your life choices.
When I'm probably too emotional.
Plus, is he picking up the check or making you split it based on accountability principles?
Check, please.
Steve Sarkisian. Sark is the offensive mastermind who's still calling plays and seems way more laid back. This feels like the guy who'd take you to a cool spot in Austin, tell some great stories about coaching at USC, and probably knows where to get the best breakfast tacos at 2 a.m. Plus, he'd definitely pick up the tab. Verdict: Texas wins. Day might be the better coach, but Sark is definitely the better dinner companion. Sometimes you want to relax, not get a PowerPoint presentation about your blocking schemes. Okay, people, it's scorecard time. Remember, category winners get 7 points, and category losers get 3 points. And yes, this is 100% scientifically accurate, and we absolutely don't care about your complaints. Final scores. Ohio State, 42 points. Texas, 39 points. The Buckeyes might be favored on the field, but this was way closer than that Cotton Bowl beatdown. Texas has the style points, but Ohio State's tradition and sheer size advantage pushed them over the edge. This one was a fun one. But what do you think? Is Austin really overrated? Are we crazy for picking Columbus as the better city? Which mascot would actually win in a real fight? And most importantly, are you Team Day or Team Sark for dinner?
Check, please.
Drop your hottest takes in the comments and tell us where we went wrong. We'll see you next week when we break down another epic matchup.